What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Exotic OXR Rifle because I think this weapon is incredible and pretty misunderstood in the community. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, comment down below which exotic is your favorite so far this season, and if you guys would like to use my code in the item shop when getting anything, it is EvolveJake, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. So the Exotic OXR, like I said, I think it's incredibly good. It's incredibly underrated, and I completely misunderstood it at first, so I bet a lot of other people in the community did as well. The way this weapon functions, or what its like unique exotic effect is that it gets bonus damage for hits on enemies. And when I initially read someone describing this, I'm not sure if it was like the Fortnite patch notes or somewhere on social media, I thought it was consecutive hits on enemies, meaning that if you ever missed a shot, you would kind of reset your damage multiplier. But that's actually not how it works at all. It's just on a timer, and every shot you hit basically resets the timer. So if you can miss a shot or two in between hits, and it's no big deal, it's no problem at all, you'll still keep your bonus damage as long as you eventually hit shots before the timer, completely resets, and then you have like the base version of the weapon. And as you damage enemies, you will continue to increase that or continue to reset that timer. And at its max damage, the timer actually lasts 5 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you're ARing somebody, that actually is a good amount of time. Like I said, I thought it initially, like if you missed any shot, then you would basically just be back to your starting point. But like if you're full spraying somebody, you can miss several shots in 5 seconds and still end up hitting a few as well. Like it's not that big of a deal. The starting damage on this is lower than what you would like. The starting damage is equal to the purple version at 35, while the legendary has 36 and the mythic has 38. So by default, you have something that's a bit weaker than like the legendary or mythic, but it's not so bad that it's like terrible. You know, it's not like it's weaker than the common. You have a purple rarity version to start, and you have something that's going to get better as you hit shots. And it gets 5 additional damage for each hit on an enemy. So once you hit a single shot, you have something that is better than the legendary or mythic, until that timer runs out. So it's not like you need to do a lot to actually make it better than the higher rarity versions. It's just a single shot, and then from that point on, you have something better until the the timer resets. The fire rate on this Exotic OXR is identical to the other rarities as well, so it's not like you have a downside there. A lot of times with the exotic weapons, when they have like a really good effect like this, they try to nerf it in some way, like be it fire rate or damage. But I think with this Exotic OXR, they actually made it incredibly good. It starts out a bit worse, but it's not so much worse that it's a lot to come back from. And then there's no other like significant downside. So I think this is incredible. The damage cap does cap out at 20 bonus damage. So you get 5 bonus damage per hit. And then once you've reached 4 hits in a row, you're at 55 damage, and I believe 96 damage for headshots, and that's where you'll stay until the timer runs out or until that 5 seconds runs out. So 4 hits, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not with this AR. I was very surprised with how good this is. Like, this weapon can kill incredibly fast when you have it fully ramped up. And in situations where you have multiple targets to shoot at, so like if you're in a hot area, maybe you just eliminated somebody and you're getting third-partied, or in like team game modes especially, I think this weapon will be incredible because once you have it fully ramped up, you're going to be able to have one of the most overpowered ARs probably ever as far as third-person ARs go for the remainder of that fight if you are able to keep hitting shots. Also, a lot of times this season, you'll kind of start to like beam somebody with your AR, and then they'll just start shockwaving away, and you have opportunities to keep hitting them. And with this exotic, you get probably to your best version before they even start shockwaving away, and so that bonus damage you got should help you maybe shoot them out of the sky and finish that fight. Like if they're going to be shockwaving away from me, I would rather have a fully ramped up Exotic OXR than any of the other versions, and a lot of times that's going to be how it plays out. I believe swapping weapons will reset your multiplier, so you do have to keep it out. But in situations where you're using your AR, that's not like the biggest deal. That would make it not that great of like a shotgun combo weapon, or not the greatest shotgun combo OXR. But with how this season plays, it's not like you really need that because we have like the Wrecker Revolver to combo with our shotguns. It's not like we're swapping back and forth between a shotgun and an AR frequently. And then even if you did want to use just shotgun and this and swap back and forth, it's not like the low damage starting point is terrible. Like if it was incredibly low, like I said, then that would really grief that playstyle. But at its start, you have a purple, and then it only gets better from there. So I think this Exotic OXR is very, very, very good. As I said, I misunderstood it at the start of the season, and I thought it would be like a weapon where it's good and it's better in a few situations, especially if you're tap firing and you're perfect. But like I thought the average level of like the mythic version would just be better because it starts with better damage and you can miss shots and not really worry about it. But the fact that this goes on a timer and you don't have to be perfect all of the time with it, I think it makes it far and away the best AR in the game this season. And as far as exotics go, I think I would probably put this second behind the exotic Wrecker Revolver. That Wrecker Revolver is very, very good. The bonus hipfire fire rate you get, I think, really frees you up to not really have to worry about weapon swapping and carry, you know, other stuff in your loadout like a Swarm Strike. But as far as ARs go, I think this exotic is the best AR in the game right now. And even if I do prefer to get the exotic Wrecker from my bunker, I'm still happy when I end up getting this OXR because it is very, very, very lethal. And it is actually very satisfying and very fun to use once you get to that bonus, you know, max damage and you're just like melting people, especially when you get third partied. I've had a lot of times where like I'm beaming somebody, I get my max damage, and then somebody else pulls up and I can just tap them with like 2 shots and that's over 100 damage and more than enough to like feel comfortable pushing off of. You create a lot of pressure in fights with this weapon. But that is going to be it for this video. Just wanted to quickly go over how good this exotic is because, like I said, I completely misunderstood it, and I bet a lot of other people did as well. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below and which exotic is your favorite. As always, if you did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, give it a like, sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Someone just captured this. Hopefully the loot was worth it. I bet they had fun. Oh my gosh. He like fizz shocked, but oh, I was gonna say we might have him dead out of the air. GG's, man. This final one is probably a drone. I mean, shots were brutal. Yeah, even like when he was fizz shocking, I think I hit him like twice. Like it was, I think he was like single digit HP by the time he landed. Dang, I was trying to see what the headshot damage was going to be when it was like fully ramped up.